before, I had a friend who was a flight instructor. And he had his own airplane. And he taught ground school. And he taught, I will let you take ground school for free in my classroom, and I will let you use my own personal plane to take all of the air stuff that you have to have. And all you're going to have to pay for is the gasoline to run the plane. Everything else is a gift. You can just, are you interested? Well, I was interested. But I ended up making a choice not to go down that path because I realized that if I became a pilot, then I wouldn't be able to afford my hobby. But he took me up for a trial flight. And when we were on the trial flight, he said, now you see there's 2 sets of everything. There's duplication here. So we have foot pedals. I have some, you have some. I have a yoke or whatever they call that thing that you pull in and out. So he says, I'm going to have you fly the plane here on your first trip with me. You're going to fly the plane. I'm going to turn it over to you. But there's one thing you need to know. Take lessons from me or any other instructor. There's a phrase we use, and it's my plane. That's the phrase we use, my plane. So he says, if ever you hear an instructor, me or any other instructor, say to you, my plane, what they're really saying is, let go of the controls, take your feet off the pedals, don't touch anything because you have put us in jeopardy. And if you don't let go and let me take control, we're likely going to crash. My plane. So when it comes to transformed lives, when it comes to Christ-like characters, when it comes to obedience and victory, God says to us, the Sabbath is a symbol that it's my plane. You rest, not one thread of human devising, you let go, and I do the transformation. How good a job does he do? 1 Thessalonians 5. May the God of peace make you holy. So who's in charge of making you holy? God of peace. And then Paul doesn't just stop there. He says, make you holy. How holy? In every way. That sounds pretty inclusive. But he doesn't even stop there. It's kind of almost as though someone says to him, when you say holy in every way, could you expand on that a little bit? And he goes, okay. How about may your whole spirit, your whole soul, and your whole body be kept blameless? Well, if your whole soul, your whole spirit, and your whole body were kept blameless, would you have a Christ-like character? Yep. Would you be obedient? Yep. Would you be transformed? Yep. Would you be an overcomer? Yep. Would you be victorious? There's one phrase that you can't get away from in the book of Revelation. It talks about overcoming over and over again. Overcoming. But this is very scary if you focus on overcoming, because it looks like mission impossible. And so there are people who say, I don't even want to read the book of Revelation. It scares the daylights out of me. I'm never going to live up to that standard. I don't like to read the 10 Commandments for the same reason. They scare me. I'm not living up to that standard. But we don't have to be frightened about transformation because God says, my plane. I've got this. So what's he want from us? He wants our time. He wants our attention. He says, by beholding, you become changed. Well, if I want to become like Christ, then what should I be beholding? Christ. So what's my job? On the pathway to victory and overcoming, what's my job? My job is sitting on the 3-legged stool. My job is spending time with Jesus daily. That's my job. And that's the one job that God cannot do for me. God cannot force me to spend time with him. I have to choose that. If he forced me, I would have no freedom. And free will would go up in smoke, and the devil would be right when he claimed that God is a dictator and that he controls everybody and everything. So the one thing that Jesus won't do for you or for me is he will not seek himself for us, which is why he says, I stand at the door and I knock. And the reason I knock is because I'm not going to kick the door down and come in without an invitation. You're going to have to open the door and say, well, please come in. Let's hang out. And if you do, I'll fellowship with you. And we'll eat together. Ever heard of the bread of life? We'll drink together. Ever heard of the water of life? And we'll become such good friends that it will change you. You know, when you eat good food, it has a way of making you even more healthy. When you drink a lot of water, has a way of keeping you healthy, you know? Diet. Oh, by the way, exercise would be sharing, wouldn't it? So kind of like the 3 legs of the stool, spiritual health. He says, may he keep your whole spirit, whole soul, and whole body blameless until the Lord Jesus Christ comes again.